What are some ways that men just kind of unconsciously, totally not on purpose, but is pretty predictable that this is kind of what men do to women that makes them feel unsafe?
Women have a hard time when they don't feel like they're the priority in the relationship. Like, he's always chasing, the career. He's always chasing money. He's hanging out with his friends. He's at the gym. Like, women have a hard time where they're not number one. They want to be number one. Again, safety connection, right? That's on their radar all the time. However, a man cannot function from that. A man, the moment he takes her on as part of his realm, part of his life, to be protected and provided for, he goes to work to make the money.
Provide for her.
Right. He goes to work. Right. So he's out of the house, to provide for her, and often men will just compel to go outside and do their lives, their professional lives. They're out there doing life to provide for her. But in that, he's away from her. And to her, it looks like she's not the priority. You know what I mean? So that's an instant collision.
So that's very interesting then, because for a man to be in a relationship with this woman, one of his needs, I guess I'm speaking for myself, but I don't think so, is that he wants to provide. And he feels that by providing for her and giving her this lifestyle, it would actually make her feel safe.
Right.
I would assume as a man. Right. And he's probably assuming that too, but then doing that in a way where she feels unconnected to actually makes her feel unsafe. Absolutely. And he's kind of like working against him. He might as well be working against himself there.
Yes.
That's interesting.
You got it.
What are some ways that women kind of unconsciously set off men? The whole respect thing.
Well,
just so that women can recognize.
If you understand as a woman that what you consider the male ego and the when he's really big and excited and pumped and loud, that he needs to be contained. Women do this. The moment the guy, boom.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
But you see, we experience this all the time. You know what I mean? Like, slow down. So bring him down a couple of notches. That ego is going to come down. Because that's the energy of that for a woman is scary. It's part of it. It's sort of gauging the energy, because when men are big, they can be sometimes dangerous. So this instinct to emasculate right then.
Yeah.
But again, if you emasculate the guy who's producing, if you bring him down, if you're trying to break down his ego, thinking you're going to keep him in check, you're disrespecting the guy. That means you don't believe in him, you don't trust him, you second guess his thinking, his plans. All of these will just tear his heart out. Like, he will feel disrespected and will stop. I tell women, a good man is controlling. Part of being masculine is to control and conquer your life and your world. No one wants to be controlled. But if you're going to be with a man, it's something you'd have to negotiate. A man will control his life, his money, his circumstances, his family. And if he takes on a woman, she's in this realm now of things to protect. So often when women push back against men controlling them, and now we understand there are men that are sick and overly controlling, but my point is, control on a man is natural. And so if you look at it, as I often put the ladies up to this way, when you feel he's very controlling, stop and look back. He's probably protecting you. It's always the flip side of him protecting you. You're now part of his world, So now, how do you negotiate this? This is what I'm talking about, the negotiating part.
I like that you say negotiate, by the way, because you're not saying, well, that's just a man.
No,
he's going to be controlling. Just allow it.
No.
You're saying negotiate, which
right.
to me kind of says, well, you got to understand where it's coming from and kind of roll with that, but then also just not let that cramp who you are as a woman either.
No, you don't want him to run you over.
Yeah.
He's gonna, often, because he's a man, he's gonna go too far, he's gonna be too loud, he's gonna be too big, he's gonna be obnoxious, rude. Yeah. He's a guy, right? Massive testosterone, blah, right? And controlling is gonna be into that. You need to, there's just to be negotiated. It needs to be negotiated, because that's, if you want a masculine man to make you feel safe, he's gonna be controlling. If you don't want to be controlled, or if the guy is not controlling, you have a very soft boy. You don't have a man in your house, you have a boy. It's a whole different problem. And then the problem with a boy in your house, these are men that do not handle their lives, that are not in charge of their lives. They usually let women do it. These guys don't make women feel safe. because they're not providing, protecting, they don't want to. Boom. Big problem. So thank you, Calvin, for for all this. Did I tell you, the guy, the questions, right? He could just appreciate your help and your input.
Andre, I'm very honored to be here, man. I'm honored to call you brother, and I'm honored to be here because I think what you teach is very valuable and important.
Thank you.
And hopefully I've been able to kind of bridge that gap between you and the viewers out there because more people need to know about your work. So thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you all.